Alright, so this is a bit different for me, where I am doing a tier list for who I think should be in the next Injustice game, since there's been a lot of news coming out about that, and I've seen a lot of some of my favorite creators doing their own.
Hey, Editing Farm Boy here. I just wanted to come in and say that this list consists of almost every DC character because I didn't want to limit myself on who should be in the game. Even though other creators use smaller lists, don't think of theirs as lesser. Also, this list is created by Daniel Noonan on Tier List Maker. It was originally a DC version of Marvel Rivals tier list, however I decided to turn it into this. Thank you and have a good day.
And I, as a big fighting game fan, I figured I should, throw my hat into the ring. A bunch of these are self-explanatory, at least in my eyes. The biggest one here is Who, which is characters that I do not have knowledge of as a DC fan because I don't read many of the comics. A lot of my knowledge comes from movies, games, some comics, not a lot, and videos of other people talking about this stuff. So, let's go ahead with it. I'm definitely going to be like cutting this kind of quick, and when I reach a character that I actually want to talk about, I will, talk about them a little bit. So let's get started. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. Ares. Ares in the first Injustice game was was one of my favorite characters in that game. Like, I thought he was really fun. So I'm putting him back here in DLC. You know, again, because I think it'll be fun. Alright, now, Batmite. Batmite is an interesting one. Because I see him here and could be interesting. But because of how powerful he is, I see moving him down to definitely not. But I don't think he should be in the game. I don't think he is in one of these three. I'll keep him here for now. Actually, I'm gonna move Batgirl in must-haves. Alright, let's continue. Now, a bunch of what I have at the moment is definitely going to make a lot of people mad, especially the ones that are actual, like, big fans of the games. But again, this is my own opinion and who I believe should be here, you know? If you have any questions or if you want to tell me anything about any of these characters, let me know. No hate comments though, because again, I am not the brightest when it comes to a bunch of these characters. As you did there. Frankenstein. I'll just put him in could be interesting. On the General Zod up here. Alright, people that are big Green Lantern fans, why are there so fucking many of him? Like, honestly. Like, nothing against him or anything. My question is just why? I'm looking at what I have up here at the moment and seeing the roster that I have so far. Yes, I do believe Booster Gold should be here. I think it would be funny. Again, just looking through could be a bunch of these could be interesting are like characters that were already DLC. And yes, I know I already put some that were DLC beforehand as DLC characters again. But these are, it's more, again, it's just how I feel. Definitely gonna add Killer Frost up there. Killer Moth, oh shit, Killer Moth's an interesting one. Because I see him here, here, or here. I don't see him being his own skin, and I don't see him being on the roster day one. I'm gonna put him in could be interesting. Yes, 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 no questions. If I'm right in the lore of Injustice, he's dead, right? Let me know in the comments. Oh shit. Mr. Mixoplex. Which is, yes, that's how I say his name. I could do the same thing as Bat Knight here, where he is a definitely not, or in could be interesting, just because of his powers. I'm gonna put him in could be interesting. I'm gonna move Bat Knight down to special skin for Mr. Mixoplex. Probably very noticeable where most of my knowledge with characters is. A bunch of this is Batman. But can you blame me? Honestly. Oh lord. This would be really funny. So I'm putting him up here. Could you imagine him being like the main villain or something? Starro. Oh god, which one? Which one do I prefer? I think I like Connor more. I'm gonna put him in could be interesting and put John in special skin. Supergirl will be special skin. Superman is day one roster, obviously. You know, he has Swamp Thing, putting up in could be interesting. Talia, putting up in could be interesting. Yes, must have. All the way up here. I was debating on putting Victor in DLC, but then I saw Professor Pig. I'm like, these two are basically, they're not the same character, but like, you have one one serial killer and then another serial killer. So I'm gonna put him down there. Alright, let's just ignore these two for now. And honestly, I was very surprised with how many characters I actually did know, versus ones that I didn't. I thought there was going to be a lot more in Who, but no. Some of these, I don't think too many people are going to be mad that I don't know these characters. Except for maybe this one, he seems like a fan favorite, I don't know. Definitely not, looks about right. Alright, let's focus on these ones. Day 1 roster. I'm going to organize them. I know we have Shazam here and I have Black, so I'm going to move Black Adam down to special. Well, I'll put him back. I'll put them back in. It could be interesting. Like, if they don't have one, then they have the other, you know? Or maybe they have both, you never know. I don't think, you know, many questions has to be answered about all these characters. DLC looks pretty good in my eyes. Scarecrow, fuck. I need to put him up. Scarecrow is like my favorite, Scarecrow is one of my favorite, DC characters of all time. He's amazing. Anyone else that I could move? Let's move Blue Beetle up. Let's move Clayface. Oh, that was Harley Quinn, but yeah. Let's move. So we're actually gonna put you down here. You know, I hate this fucker. I do not like Damian Wayne. I do not like him. Moving Plastic Man up here. Just the more I look at it, the more I realize. No, we'll keep him there. Alright, what about down here? Dr. Fate was interesting. Detective Chimp, I just thought he would be funny. I'm moving him here. Firefly, we're moving up to DLC territory. Jinx, I think we're gonna move up to must-haves. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, I'll keep Jinx as a DLC in my eyes. We'll have Black Manta there. Brainiac, not one of my favorites from the last game. Mrs. Freeze we're gonna have as a DLC. Giganta we're gonna have as a must-have. Gorilla Grodd, one of my favorites from the last game. I know, that sounds weird, but yeah, he was one of my favorites. Is this at all confusing? Wait, hang on. In the first game, if I remember correctly, that wasn't actually Dick, right? That was Damian that took his role. Am I right? Can't fully remember. So, would this at all make sense? I don't know, so I'm just gonna put him down in maybe DLC or must-have. DLC. Terra we're gonna have as a must-have. I think all the rest that I have. I'll put Red 28. No, I'll keep him as a. Could be interesting. This seems pretty good, at least to me. I really think it would be so funny if Riddler, in my eyes, could make it up into one of these categories. He just doesn't. You know, he just doesn't make it up here at all. That is my tier list for Injustice 3. Let me know what you think, ignoring, you know, these bottom ones. Just these top ones is what matters. Actually, no, I'm not done, because we have one more tier that should be done. Guest characters. Let's make it like pink or something, sure. Alright. Alright. So, the first character that I want to see, I'm gonna have the rest of them blurred.
No.
I'm gonna have them all blurred as I grab them. First character I'd like to see, Beetlejuice. Come on, I've been wanting Beetlejuice in a fucking game for so damn long. I just think it is perfect. Do not say multiverses, that didn't count, because it just died. Next. I have Ben 10, I know it's not the best image, but shut up. Specifically Ben 10,000. I just, again, be amazing in my eyes to have him in a game like this. Alright, third. Kind of a weird pick. Freakazoid. Now, just imagine if they did it. It would be so funny, at least to me. A lot of these picks are just so funny, or I've been wanting this for so long. Freakazoid is like a mix of those two. And also of, we haven't seen anything of him in a while, so please. Alright, now, the creators of this, being NetherRealm Studios, they have been shown to have some of their characters be from Mortal Kombat. So, we're gonna do Liu Kang. Again, not the best image, so what? Because first game they had Scorpion, second game they had Sub-Zero and Raiden. So you might want to do the fourth most famous from those games, which is Liu Kang. Final character that I'd want to see. Well, there's one more after this, technically. We have the Mask. Same thing with Beetlejuice. I have been wanting this character in a fighting game for so long. Final characters. And come on, Sam and Dean from Supernatural would be amazing in a fighting game like this. And I don't know how they would tie all these characters together. A big thing, well, like these ones don't really, they can just kind of show up. But with the story of this, one of the biggest things that I've seen is a story with Booster Gold, like, traveling, and he just fucks something up. A favorite in my eyes has been Storo is like the big threat of the game. So you have all these people coming together to, take care of this catastrophic event. But but it would just come on. Anyway, this has been my tier list here. I am so sorry to the people who may be fans of these characters. I'm just not the biggest fan, or I just don't see how they would fit, or I just don't know who the fuck they are. Yeah. Still, thank you. Thank you for taking your time to watch what I have here. And please, if you like to see some stuff that I'm going to do in the future, I have a animatronic that I am currently building in my short videos. I've only posted one of that so far. I plan on trying to post more in the future, like more than I have been, to just, I don't know, I want to do a lot more than I have been, and I don't have the motivation for it at the moment. So if you could please drop a like, maybe subscribe, leave a comment talking about how stupid my list is if you think it is. All right, goodbye.